1987 was a year of cleaning out the desk for Hasbro-backed cartoons. After the backlash from killing off Optimus Prime, the Transformers would complete its third season in March, with Optimus Prime being brought back to life to resume as the world's leader of the Autobots. Both the Transformers and G.I. Joe would then get one final story to wrap things up. Gem and the Holograms, the only movie from the Sunday Power Hour block to lead to a series, was fast-tracked so that it would reach 65 episodes in the spring of '88. That just left My Little Pony and Friends to contend with. With 50 episodes in Season 1, it only needed 15 more episodes to reach the 65 episode mark. Since 2 of those episodes would be the hollowed out version of Escape from Katrina, now with a K, they only needed 13 new Pony episodes. The problem was 1987 was a massive year for the Pony toys. It was the last year So Soft's Twinkle Eyes and Flutter Ponies would be sold. The baby ponies were split in 2 different directions, with the first toothed baby ponies and the newborn twins. The Twice as Fancy ponies were introduced this year as well. We also got 2 big gimmick lines with the Princess Ponies and Big Brother ponies. On top of all of that, there were still the classic characters Hasbro was tepid over pushing to the side after what happened with the Transformers and G.I. Joe, so they had to be included in the episodes too. That's a lot of ponies to include in just 13 episodes. The result was Season 2 feeling more like a bunch of extended ads, with each story having a different new pony or groups of ponies. Michael Reeves will kick this off with the final 4-part story, The Quest of the Princess Ponies, which stars the Princess Ponies. The Princess Ponies were an accessory-heavy set with their regal wares and attendants. In North America, the attendants were Bush Boys, while in Europe they were baby dragons like Spike. The United Kingdom also had a theme to the names of the Princess Ponies, as they were named after birthstones, while the American names were random names that sounded royal. Personally, I prefer the dragons and naming scheme in the UK, but this episode is based on the American Alliance, so I'll be using the American names. Part 1 opens with Princess Tiffany, an apt name considering she's all white, flying over a field of crystal towards a castle. The other Princess Ponies are doing stuff with their magic wands, and Princess Sparkle makes a bush grow that ends up catching Tiffany. She screams as her hoof polish has been chipped. Oh boy, please don't tell me they're a bunch of bratty bitches.
My hoof! Look at my hoof! The beautiful polish is chipped! All that fuss over chipped hoof polish? I gave you the ancient recipe for polish made from glitter sand, but did you use it? Then this is your fault, Starburst. I did use your polish. Some princess ponies don't know as much as they think they know.
Unfortunately, they are, as it dissolves into an argument over who should be queen. Fortunately, Michael Reeves is doing the writing, so he should be able to pull out an enjoyable story even with these characters. In the meantime, Spike and some of the Bush Boys are crossing the Crystal Field back to Dream Valley. They're kind of lost because, well, it's the Bush Boys. They couldn't navigate themselves out of an open-ended paper bag. This is illustrated as they point every direction, saying it's the way to Dream Valley. Spike's about had it when they see a light coming from a building in the distance. They head there, but it's not Dream Valley, as Princess Royal Blue comes up and explains it's a royal paradise. They've also been recruited as judges for the contest to decide which one will be queen.
You probably picked me.
Why?
Because I'm the best qualified.
The argument this touches off leads into our first song of the story, By Right I Should Be Queen. It's a very good song, in fact one of the better ones of the series, and fits quite well with its regal anthem-like melody. Though the visuals are a little disturbing as we watch the Princess Ponies demonstrate their world-warping powers. Should that kind of power really be in the hooves of these 6?
I should be queen. Anyone can see the royal crown and great renown are meant for only me. No me! No me! No me! No me! Who should be queen?
Well, gee, I don't think any of you really. I mean, you're all so good. Let's let the Bush Willies decide.
There's a pun if I ever heard one. However, it looks like they have bigger issues as they're being watched by Levan, this week's villain. He and his henchmen are lava demons that look an awful lot like Silicoid from Massive Orion 2 from what would be the neck down. Levan has been planning to steal the uber magic wands the Princess Ponies have and decides now's the perfect time to attack. Back topside, the great debate continues, though things are getting even more ridiculous as Tiffany justifies her claim with her ability to fly. Apparently, the ponies in Dream Valley know of the Princess Ponies, but probably don't know they're a bunch of spoiled brats. Everything's brought to a halt as the ground opens up, and Lavanna's underlings come surfing out on a wave of lava just to show how badass they are. They easily take all the wands. Even Tiffany's attempt to fly out of their reach is thwarted by a heat ray. Spike tries to fight lava with fire, but Lavanna shows him who's hottest by evaporating the water in the fountain to create a fog to cover their escape. Lavanna having the wands means bad things are a-coming as he has plans.
I have the ability to transform me into a crystal being of enormous power!
The man certainly loves his work. His main minion, Sledge, likes the idea of being a beautiful crystal being that doesn't have to worry about everything melting in his clutch, but Lavanna only cares about the power. He grabs the wands, but they go crazy and shoot their power into the ceiling. This causes the sky to go strange and the crystal field to expand. The effects are felt back at Paradise Estate as Fizzy loses control of her bubble magic. The ground also randomly turns into quicksand in places, and the weather can't decide whether to freeze them or fry them. Galaxy thinks something's screwing with the magic of Ponyland, so Paradise heads to where the weirdness seemed to be coming from. Lavanna, in the meantime, is pissed that he can't get the power out of the wands. He decides to grab the Princess Ponies and make them tell him how to suck them dry. Spike takes charge topside and tells Tiffany to get Megan. However, Lavanna is back to lava surfing and corners them. Spike puts a bushwood on Tiffany's back and tells them to get out of there. She manages to escape through the air, but the others are captured to set up the cliffhanger. Part 2 hours with Tiffany flying towards Dream Valley and the bush woolly hanging on for dear life so hard he's choking her. However, he apparently had to because when he loosens his grip to point out directions, he slips and falls. Fortunately, he falls in a bush to break his fall, but unfortunately, the expanding crystal field reaches him and turns him to crystal. Ooh, this is getting gruesome. Lavanna, in the meantime, demands the Princess Ponies tell him how to drain the wands, and they tell him he can shove it. He decides he'll instead shove them into a lava pit if their mood doesn't change. Tiffany manages to reach Dream Valley, where she runs into Paradise. She tells Paradise that they've been robbed, and Paradise says that she'll take her to Megan for the full debriefing. Princess Ponies, in the meantime, are being led to the lava pits, which are actually magma pits since they're underground.
Can't throw us into a lava pit. It would ruin my complexion.
What is it with these ponies and their complexion? Spike tells the bush boys to play bounce and they get bouncing. This distracts the lava demons long enough for them and Spike to escape, but the Princess Ponies aren't so lucky. They're about to head back when they're cornered by ice orcs. Back with the Princess Ponies.
Ponies, jump or be pushed! Ha 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 ha!
Damn, watching the bush boys must have made Sledge's balls drop. The sunquake hits and the lava demons fall into the lava and the Princess Ponies can finally escape. The same can't be said for Spike and the bush boys as they're surrounded.
Okay, you asked for it.
He breathes flame!
He must be one of the lava demons, our hereditary enemies.
A crack diplomat, you're not, Spike. The ice orcs make bars of ice and Spike tries to tell him that he's not a lava demon. The lead ice orc asks him to take a test, which is putting his hand on Spike's arm, which freezes it. Ever since Ganesh, the leader's arm didn't melt off, Spike isn't a lava demon. Spike melts the bars away and explains to Lavanna's Princess Ponies, and this worries the ice orcs, and Ganesh goes with them. Paradise, in the meantime, reaches Paradise Estate with Tiffany. Megan and the ponies give her a royal welcome and ask what the hell's going on.
It's a long, terrible story, and I'm so glad you asked.
It's not like we have a ticking clock here. The other Princess Ponies, in the meantime, are slogging through a mud flow and singing about it. This episode has been doing really well with the songs, as this one really gives a sense of struggling. They eventually catch up with Spike and the others, and Ganesh knows of tunnels that the lava demons don't that they can use to reach the throne room and the wands. After Tiffany has finished the next great Ponyland novel, Paradise reminds them of that ticking clock. The Crystal Field, which is a jewel desert now, is expanding towards Dream Valley. Megan goes with Tiffany since the Rainbow Light hasn't been mentioned in a while. Lavanna, in the meantime, decides to try draining the wands one by one. It seems to work as the first one gives him an arm of crystal. Unfortunately for Sledge, he comes in to report the Princess Ponies have escaped and gets to be a guinea pig for Lavanna's new powers. Ganesh, in the meantime, is leading everyone through the tunnels. He hushes Princess Starburst because on the other side of the wall is Lavanna's throne room and he could hear them. And that could especially be the case as Levan turns more of himself into Crystal and declares that his senses have been sharpened. Then one of the bush woolies goes into a random sneezing fit which gives him away. Levan blasts a hole in the wall to let them fall out and calls the guards. One of them breaks out the heat ray, but Ganesh counters. The stalemate is broken by two more lava demons getting him from the side, so they're at Levan's not-so-tender mercies.
So fast!
We're trapped.
An iceborne, eh? I should melt you into a puddle right here!
Only you don't fire heat rays anymore, you fire rainbow beams. And you ironically look a lot like an ice orc now. Levan decides to throw them into a dungeon while he finishes his transformation, and Sledge seems to be having second thoughts about all this. Tiffany, in the meantime, is getting tired from making a round trip. Then the sky goes hollow foil, which causes Megan to drop the rainbow light to set up the cliffhanger.
Hi! What's going